Welcome back everybody, and what you're looking at right there is a 737 MAX tail skid. The primary purpose of a tail skid is for protection for the aft bulkhead as well as the fuselage structure behind there. This is in case the aircraft over-rotates and has impact with the runway. From the outside, visually, you can see three main components: the skirt fairing, the wear shoe, as well as the warning placard. On the inside of this, there's something that's very rarely seen: the energy absorber cartridge, better known as the frangible cartridge. Kind of looks like a filter, doesn't it? But it's not. Composition of the unit is quite simple. It's a crushable cartridge core assembly in an aluminum honeycomb cylinder with a hollow center. It has two pivot points, one up top that goes to a fuse pin and the other one to the drag lever. The whole point is when you have impact with the runway, this thing will collapse and crush to prevent damage to the fuselage, absorbing the impact in a sense. But it gets more complicated than this. It's not as simple as it looks. The reason I say that is because this little unit has multiple levels of damage that it can absorb. We will begin with a small force of impact. Let's say the pilot over-rotates just slightly and only hits the wear shoe. Scuffs on it, it also may break off, but it's absorbing some of the punishment. There are 4 wear dimples on the lower surface of the shoe, 2 forward and 2 aft. If the tail strike is significant enough to where the damage goes past those little dimple markers, then we have to replace the wear shoe. Okay, so now let's say the aircraft had a larger force of impact to that little unit. This is where the frangible cartridge comes to play. On impact, it will absorb the force and get crushed. At that point, the wear shoe is completely gone, the cartridge gets smashed, and the little band right there, the red and green band, is a nice little tattletale for us. If the green is not showing, that means that cartridge is crushed. At this point, maintenance will be replacing the wear shoe as well as the cartridge. And in case the skirt fairing got damaged, we can replace that as well. But it doesn't end there. Let's say the aircraft now has a very large force, heavy impact. There's another redundancy behind this: the fuse pin. Remember, this whole time we're getting tail strikes and no structural damage. Let's say it gets to this really heavy force. This is going to be your last prevention point of preventing any kind of structural damage. A fuse pin will snap and allow that unit to go up a little further, thus preventing structural damage. At that point, we're replacing that whole unit. And finally, if you got pilots that think they're Maverick and they think their 737 can V1 rotate like a F-14, you end up with this. I'm just joking, guys. Sometimes it's wind conditions that cause it. But this is what it looks like when you have massive structural damage at this point. Notice the whole unit is collapsed, completely gone. The shoe is broken off. At this point, maintenance takes over and lots of overtime. Pretty much all aircraft that have tail skids function just like this. That's about it for this segment. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you on the next one. Later!